Well, I watched Fat Sajak cover this the other day, and I shared it as just a post. I shared it. The Dad Challenge is covering it as well a couple hours ago, and I think it's important enough to discuss. So let's go through it.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name is Josh. Today we're talking about Colleen Ballinger, the canceled one of all the cancellations. This woman did some heinous garbage, was canceled for it, rightly so, and is still being platformed on pretty major platforms, actually, pretty major podcasts, to try to get her message out there. Just go away, Colleen. You don't even go here anymore.
So, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this, I was following it when it happened a couple of years ago. And basically, she was outed for having inappropriate contact with her underage fans, and putting them in scenarios that were not okay, shall we say. All right, let's go through it.
Let's talk about it.
By the way, I don't always agree with the Dad Challenge. Like, when we had the Charlie Kirk shooting, he was talking about how even as a Canadian, he's a gun owner and that should be perfectly fine. But there's a big difference between what they do in Canada regarding guns. They still allow hunting and things of that nature in Canada, whereas in America it's a free-for-all, and like people can get freaking like assault weapons. Like you can get military grade weapons. And so I did have a bit of a dispute on his channel a little while ago about that particular situation, saying that it's not comparable. And I think that's a fair statement, is that Canada, reined it in, and America has not. US, right?
So Colleen Ballinger, if you don't know anything about Colleen Ballinger, she is Miranda Sings, which is a character for children, which is a super weird. It's like a crossover for children and adults and things like that. She did some pretty raunchy stuff, especially with kids on stage. She sent lingerie to an underage fan. She's severely inappropriate. She's developmentally arrested as a teenager, obviously. There's no way you could be this type of person without it. She's got some really weird psychopathic tendencies, and she finally got called out for it, and then everything started coming out about her, and all the private text messages and the private groups and weaponizing fans against other fans and everything else, and becoming just like. And then she did this apology where she sat down with a ukulele and literally destroyed her entire career. It wasn't everybody's cancellation. It was the ukulele apology, which wasn't really an apology. This woman is absolutely bananas. Okay, she's sardines and bananas together on a pizza.
Yeah, seriously, the ukulele bit was so it was in such a it was such a poor choice that I mean, back in the day, Hugh Grant was almost canceled because he got caught with like a prostitute or something, and he went on to, I think it was the Tonight Show, maybe, and he worked with a stylist to come up with his outfit and everything else, like the orange tie. You'll probably, if you look it up, you'll hear about that, the orange tie, to apologize for his behavior and restore his career. And obviously it worked because clearly he was able to successfully survive that moment in time.
With pineapple. Eh, you know, she's disgusting. At one point, Miranda Sings, Colleen Ballinger was pulling in literally millions and millions of dollars a month. She was doing a high-end tour, which was sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Just the most die-hard fans, which is weird. I don't know why you're fans of this person, but there's something for everybody. There's people who dress up as animals and do things together. Okay, like furries. There's something for everybody. So weirdos out there, and so
I feel like a lot of these reaction channels are watching my content, you guys. Because I think I just talked about seeing furries in Yosemite, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
her tribe was full of weirdos. That's just what it is. She gathered the weirdos. Was she funny? No, she wasn't funny at all. Like, not even a little bit funny. I didn't see any of it. I can understand how children might see it as engaging, but the adult fans that she had was mind blowing to me. Like, she's I don't get it. Okay, and maybe I'm the problem. Okay, but she's not funny as far as I'm concerned. Her brother and sister-in-law, I think, I think it's her brother and sister-in-law, are also family vloggers. What brought her to my attention was way back in the day, she had a video talking about child exploitation, and her take was so shitty, I had to do like a 2-part series on it.
Wow.
So this woman then had children and then exploited them on the internet, and it's just completely, it doesn't deserve the platform she has, and so many people are like that.
I'm gonna have to dig that up because I didn't know that he's deeper in it than I was. Like, I just found out about this a couple of years ago when it was circulating on YouTube that she made this stupid apology and there were all these claims against her. It wasn't even an apology, really. She was making light of it.
So many people do not deserve the platform that they have, and yet they have them, which is, I hate this world sometimes. Okay, it bothers me. Adam McIntyre did a series of videos and continues to do a series of videos on her. He was the guy that she sent her lingerie to, and his parents were a little bit upset with this whole thing. Kind of started it early on. Like, everybody knew about this way back, but that wasn't what got her canceled. It was that on top of things that kept coming out on top of that. So he had to release this information a bunch of times before it actually took. And good for him for taking down this predator. There's no other way to put this. She's a predator. And she was hiding in plain sight. And a lot of these predators do that. They hide in plain sight and they create communities which gives them easy access to their prey. And that's why the Catholic Church is so full of these priests who do that, because they are allowed to be and create.
Yeah, that's, obviously there was the Catholic Church scandal, and hopefully they're doing a better job now, since it came to light. I don't know for sure if they've resolved all of the problems that were going on with their relationships with altar boys, basically. But I don't know. I mean, there's still a lot of sexism in the Catholic Church and so on and so forth. I was raised Catholic, but I never had that type of experience as a Catholic. Thank God, right? But I don't know if they've fully resolved, like, what happens there. Let's take a quick break. Okay, let's get back to it. So, basically, a lot of adults have to work with kids, based on, if you're a dance teacher, if you're a diving coach, if you're teaching children as a teacher, and at least with public school teachers, they are required to go through a background check and get their fingerprints taken, and they are registered in an FBI database. I know this not only because I'm related to people who teach, but also because I worked in identity and security, and I've talked about that on my channel before. But we all go through training when we're working with kids, and there are just certain boundaries that you don't cross. And I'll have some stories that I'll interject as we go through this.
Communities with these children. That's why so many PDF files exist in Hollywood. That's why so many disgusting trash monsters like Harvey Weinstein exist in Hollywood, because they create this community where they bring in the people that need them and then they take advantage of them.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, was she highly inappropriate on top of all those things that we heard? I don't know. Right? But she was highly inappropriate in a lot of ways, including conversation, including user power over others. So she deserved this cancellation in every single way. And Adam McIntyre used his platform to get out there. Now he arguably has a bigger platform than she does. Imagine being such a shitty creator that the kid that you sent something to is now a bigger creator than you are, and that's the backlash. Isn't that crazy? So, Colin, I don't know how many subscribers she's lost over the years, but she had almost 2 billion views on her channel before everything kind of collapsed. And in the past, like, this is a channel with 8.1 million subscribers, and she only has 206,000 views. This woman went from making, I'm not even kidding you, probably dozens of hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to, I can't, that would be a million, but you know what I mean? She's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on just YouTube alone. Not to do with the Netflix series, not to do with her tour, nothing. Just making money hand over fist to now making less than 225,000 views. There's no money being made on this channel. Like, a little bit, don't get me wrong. Like, this says $425. She's only getting hate watches now. She went from creating all this stuff to being one of the most wealthiest creators on this platform to being a joke on the internet. And now apparently she's moving because she can't afford her giant mansion that she bought. And her subscriber count, if you look...
Yeah, and I don't even know that her mansion is all that giant, to be real with you. It's just property up in the LA area. In a lot of those neighborhoods is really expensive. And he's right. The Hollywood culture is dangerous for kids. I mean, I went to school in Hollywood for a long time, and I saw some things, you know, and I experienced some things firsthand, such as being on stage for a play, and we did not have blocking established yet. If you don't know what blocking it is, it's you're told where you need to be on stage, you have to walk to these positions, etc. And I was told to stay in one position when there wasn't any blocking established, and I clearly felt the hand of my teacher on my ass during this experience. And I didn't know what to do with that because realistically, we knew that there would be no consequences for the teacher, and that it could potentially harm us by actually reporting it.
Over the year, this is a dying channel. So at one point when this started tracking, which this is Mr. Beast's platform here, what is it, 8.7 million, 8.7 million, something like that. She has just dived since June 5th, 2023, which I think is when this story sort of broke big time. Look at this dive. Look at this dive. This is a woman who has fallen from grace, who no longer, like, there's so many big creators that got so big that they never ever can, like, ever be gone, because they'll still make a few $1,000s on the internet, which is more than they'll make working a job that they'll do in regular public, because no one will hire them except for, you know, people who don't really know who they are. They won't actually get a real job, and so they still make $5,000 to $10,000 a month, which is more than most people make. But at one point when you're making millions of dollars a year, it's a pretty big downgrade. That's like going from making like $15 an hour to making like $1 an hour. Okay, that's what it's like. And so they cannot sustain their opulent lifestyles anymore. I think Colleen's been trying to fight back tooth and nail to just get back to some sort of more money than she's made before. And Miranda Sings here has, so if you just combine the YouTube views that she has so far, we're at something like 5 billion. So this woman has made more money than most people will ever know what to do with in their entire lives. And maybe she saved some. I hope she did, because I don't understand why she just doesn't leave. It doesn't make any sense. Just leave. Everybody hates you now. Even on Miranda Sings with 10 million.
Well, I think it's bigger than that. I think that also these platforms need to be held accountable for giving predators the space to provide this sort of content, to help them monetize their lifestyles like this. There was a super famous actor in England who it came out after he died, after he passed, that he had been abusing people, kids mostly, I think. And that came out, and I can't remember the guy's name though, because I never watched him. It was before my time, which is saying a lot. It was before my time. But he was lifted up by the BBC, and then it all came out after he passed away. So, I mean, we've got predators amongst us, and we have to do more to speak out against them,
In subscribers, 271,000 views. So combined, less than 500,000 views on two channels with over 18 million subscribers on them combined. And Miranda Sings isn't a growth channel, obviously. Over 3 months, no growth. Over 1 year, no growth, max. So she went from 10.8 million subscribers to 10.4 million. And that's on top of the loss that she's already having. So if you're losing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, it means that it's overcoming the gain that you make. So you're losing even more than that. Does that make sense? So if you lose 100,000 subscribers, it means you've probably lost more like 140,000 subscribers, because you're overcoming the gain that you are, because by default, a channel with 10.4 million subscribers is going to gain some subscribers for people who don't know who you are. People who are coming into your content new, they don't know what kind of scandals you have. There is going to be some natural growth that occurs because of that. But the algorithm now has kicked her out of the platform, and she's gone. This is a woman, again, who was making so much money, it was bananas. And I don't know when the last video she made on Miranda Sings, but this is a woman who's gone. She's toast. So this is her main channel with 2.95, and here she's almost at 1 million views. Okay, which isn't terrible. Don't get me wrong. She's probably pulling in $10,000 a month on this account, if people are watching, if they're not just skipping. But another channel right here, if you look at her subscriber count, went from there to the scandal, which was around June 2023. Well, May 2023, I guess. And then again, every single one of her channels completely dying. But she still makes videos on this one. And so for this day, for this video, first day in 16 hours, she only made 15,000 views on it. Like, again, of a channel with 2.95 million subscribers, just all of her shit is collapsed into nothingness. And it's...
Yeah, and the thing is that these adults don't realize how they're impacting the kids around them, right? They think that they're more mature than they are, and so therefore they can deliver this type of content. Like, the entire locale universe that is run by Daniel Keem is not age restricted at all, and they're talking about totally inappropriate subjects that should not be available to children. It's very much a network of fetish content, which I've discussed in the past. But, when I say the Hollywood culture is bad, there are, I think, 3 students that I attended Hollywood High with that ended up transitioning from male to female. One of them is in the cover picture of my page. Abu became Vanessa, and Abu had been having some sort of relationship, sexual relationship, with our dance teacher, who I don't know if he's still alive, so I'm not going to say his name. But Abu, Vanessa, has passed, so I feel comfortable saying that much.
Deserved. She's absolutely owed this 100%. And so she gets on this podcast here called Tea Time with Raven and Miranda, with a background that looks like the inside of a fifth wave feminist purse. Whatever. It is what it is. I actually happen to be a fan of Raven Simone. I think I've seen some of her stuff in the past. She's good. I like her shows. She's funny. I think
Raven Simone was the replacement to Rudy on The Cosby Show. And as I wrote a comment on this video, she simps for Cosby too.
she's awesome. I don't know what she did after TV and all that kind of stuff. I guess this is what she's doing. With Tea Time with Raven and Miranda. I don't know who these people are, except for Raven. I don't know who Miranda is. I don't know any of these people. They seem nice, I guess. They seem normal. But if you're going to platform Miranda Sings, get ready for this ratio. Because they got 3,000 upvotes for 13,000 downvotes plus mine, which I just did right there. Wow. 13,000 downvotes. But if you look at the video, it's got 100,000 views, which is way more than any of the other videos that they have. Because I mean, Raven Simone was a pretty famous actor for a while. But if you look at their view counts, like they got Chelsea Handler, who's pretty famous, 69,000.
Raven she also had her own show later that was called That's So Raven.
We've come from Madison Pettis. I don't know who that is, but 84,000 views. Their most popular video right now is Kyle Massey with 300,000. And then the Colleen Ballinger, like they got a bunch here that over 100. They got Allison Stoner, which I love Allison Stoner. She's great. She's got a great message. And Colleen Ballinger's up there. Like they platform Drake Bell as well here. And then Colleen Ballinger's coming up. So they're getting the biggest creators they get on the channel. It gets them views, but they get panned as well. Because why are you platforming Colleen Ballinger?
Right.
She does not deserve a platform. Let her go. Everybody just needs to be like, bye, Colleen Ballinger, right off. It's time for you to go. Okay? Exactly. Like these people, they don't even care that they're hated. Who's that one guy who like kept messaging minors? He's got a real punchable face and he talks to their mouth like that all the time. Anyway, they make just enough to like.
That's a beauty dude. He's like I can't remember what his name is, but he was one of these people doing cosmetic type podcasts or whatever, and yeah, he was sending inappropriate pictures and having inappropriate relationships with his fan base too.
Live decent, but never will be what they once were, and that will always bug.
I think it was James Charles, maybe. That might be it. Why do I keep getting these weird pop-ups? Sorry. I'm trying to hit the play button. Give me a second.
But again, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? So if you have a big enough platform that you can be canceled, but you can't really be canceled. Because you could just exist on a platform and say, I have 10 million subscribers. Right? I have like across 5 platforms, she has like 15 million subscribers. Although she's losing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I think it might have like started waning, but it's not. I still don't think it has. I don't think she's ever going to be ever again back to this level. That's why these people just need to go get real jobs. I don't understand why creators who make this kind of money don't invest in their futures. Why are you
No.
not putting millions of dollars away into like some kind of high interest savings account or investing in businesses and things like that, so you like can just walk away? I would love to have that kind of money where I could just walk away from YouTube one day and be like, hey, I'm gonna go do this business now. Like, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, some people think I make that kind of. I don't. But if I did, you're damn right I would do shit like that. I would buy multiple properties. I would be investing in my future outside of this platform, because this platform is going to be gone for almost every creator at some point. Maybe Mr. Beast is the only one who can survive that. Okay, but most creators, we have a time limit on this platform. Like, we gather our subscribers, we do what we got to do, and then eventually people are like, hey, I'm moving on. And that's the nature of it. I used to follow a lot of other people, and I don't follow them anymore.
Well, it's even more than that, because it's not just that that your own channel has a lifespan. It's also that YouTube will ultimately get eliminated because of the way it operates, and political climates change, and the way that civilization advances. It's not always going to be relevant. There will be something that comes out that's bigger and better, right?
I used to be interested in a lot of different things I'm no longer interested in. And so, that's why I started Unfollowed. If you go over to the other channel, which is more of a channel that does exactly what I do here, except for it's expanded to like the entire world, influencer culture and just pop culture in general, and calling out, this type of behavior, but like elsewhere. Right? So it's something that I've pivoted to, which I think is important to do. I've got lots of ideas and stuff like that. But again, I know I'm not going to exist on here forever. I know I won't. And so I make sure, but I have a good background of like working my ass off for almost my entire life in order that if I ever had to leave this, I'd be fine. I have a lot of marketable skills. I have a lot of talents and ability, especially in the tech world, in the visual world, in the filming world, and all that kind of stuff, photography and all that kind of stuff. I would be fine. Like I wouldn't make as much money as I'm making now, but I would be absolutely fine, because I've future-proofed myself. I've made sure that I have these things, that I have interest in other businesses, and if I want to go back to school for something, I can do that. I put my wife through school. I want to put my wife through her master's to become a nurse practitioner as well. Maybe I'll start a nurse practitioner clinic. I don't know. The sky's the limit. When you grew up hardworking like I did, because I had no choice, which I'm glad I did. But I grew up working since I was 14 years old. I've had hundreds of jobs. Okay, I've done everything.
My first job was as a paper girl at age 9, and I would twice a week for the Saddleback Valley News throw papers out to all the houses, and once a month I had to go door to door. That was my first door to door experience. Had to go collect, I think it was like $1.25 or something like that for their subscription to the paper.
Okay, and I am a hardworking individual who always has something on the go. I'm always working. If I'm not doing the steel in my garage, I'm re-siding my house. I'm putting up this 40-foot effing Santa Claus. It took like 3 years to do. I'm cutting my grass. I'm working with my hands. I'm building shelves. I'm always doing something. Okay, and I can immediately go work somewhere, which is fine. All these creators that you see out here that do nothing, that's all they're good for themselves. They're not contributing to society in any meaningful way whatsoever. Those who do contribute to society are the ones who make the least amount of money. And that's why the world's backwards, and that's why I can't wait for this asteroid. I heard there's an alien ship in the ocean somewhere. Maybe they can start their thing. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, all that to say, I am going to cover this video. It's very, very long. So we're going to scrub through it a bit. There's no chapters, these lazy bastards, but I'm sure there's some tidbits in here we can garner from the Colleen Ballinger lore and add to it, because F you, Colleen Ballinger. Piece of shit. Anyway, here we go.
Today, we're sitting down with Colleen Ballinger, actress, comedian, and YouTuber, best known for her character, Miranda Sings.
Those glasses are a choice. I'm both with them. I'm sorry, Raven, if you're watching this. Just
They typically they'll wear glasses like that because they have the very bright lights on on them while they're live streaming. And so, like the ring lights and stuff like that, they will purposely wear sunglasses to prevent any, especially if they have sensitive eyes, right? So it's a choice. Anyhow, I'm gonna take another break real quick. Hold up. It's so weird. It seems like I have to use like a German accent to speak to my dog. I don't get it.
That's what I do. I just snark on people. I know I'm a potato. I think you're beautiful, Raven. I think you're awesome. I don't know who this person is with the weird yellow glasses. Maybe it's for night driving, but that's what I do. It's nothing against you guys. From my heart. And I know, Raven, I think you're a comedian, so I think you know this. Just saying. I'm going to be snarking on your background. Okay, because it's not it.
You were anywhere online in 2023, you probably saw Colleen's name trending. It's because she was accused of crossing personal boundaries with fans.
To say it lightly, is that a straight up bolt? Just a bolt through your ear?
Some of whom were minors, and the response was intense.
She posted a response video that made the whole situation blow up even more.
Yes, she did.
And what followed was
I'm an idiot.
one of the biggest public cancellations we've seen in a while.
This is actually the first time that we're meeting Colleen, and we've decided to do it now because we feel like enough time has passed for reflection and learning and for a real conversation behind the headlines.
Yeah, well.
Right.
They don't care that they're getting paid.
It's easy to form opinions based on what we see online, but harder to sit down face to face and ask questions about what's really happened, what someone's taken from it, and how they're moving forward.
Well, when you read the comments on this video, you're going to see that this video did not achieve what they thought. It's easy not to look back and see, and we can be, like, reflective, and all the comments like,
Our goal isn't to revisit every detail, but to understand the human side of the story that became very public.
Oh, okay.
No. Why don't you cover people who are human, not psychopaths?
So today, Colleen is here to share her perspective in her own words, to share what she's learned, what she regrets, and what she hopes all of us take away from it now.
And we're here to listen.
Here's our conversation with Colleen Ballinger.
The piano. I was canceled. Please don't cancel me, Mom.
Now that I'm a mom, obviously every choice I make, I think about how it could affect my children.
I don't like her face. It looks like she stretched it over another face. Wow, your hair is so... Another face.
And I wish that I went into my interactions with my fans with that same mindset of like, everything I say can affect them, and think about how this can affect these people that you're interacting with.
My next guest tonight is one of the most popular YouTubers in the world. Her videos have garnered more than 1 billion views online.
You all know her as Miranda Sings.
Please welcome Colleen Ballinger.
Colleen.
Over 6 million subscribers, nearing 2 billion views. Now a Netflix show.
You're famous. You're famous. We're all famous.
I hate both of these women. This one is an insufferable dingleberry. Insufferable.
I haven't heard anybody say dingleberry in like over a decade. That's hilarious. Sorry, you made me snort again.
I attribute part of the downfall of humanity to Chelsea Handler. A little bit. Just a little, though.
Colleen has written a best-selling self-help book, is touring around the world, and has appeared with the likes of Jimmy Fallon and Jerry Seinfeld.
I'm sure they regret it.
YouTube star Colleen Ballinger, who's better known as her online persona Miranda Sings,
Is that there in New York?
is facing significant backlash. She's been accused of having inappropriate relationships with some of her underage fans.
And now a new video she made is landing the
Stupid idiot.
content creator in even more hot water.
They wanted an explanation, and they deserved that, and I didn't give it to them.
What happened personally?
This looks like Taylor Swift's second cousin twice removed. Third time removed.
caught up in the things that weren't true that were being said about me, that I feel like I wasn't listening to the things that were true. I don't blame anyone but me. It was like...
No, she hates Adam. She hates Adam. Let's be real. Adam McIntyre, it's like if she's got a list on her wall, he's at the top of the list, okay? When she puts a red lipstick on, he's on the top of the list.
Yeah, seriously, if you've seen Adam, he totally exposed her, and she came after him pretty hard. It was bad, and take a look at Fat Sajak's video on this too, because she covers that portion of it. I don't think that the Dad Challenge covers that.
Just saying, he knows it.
Part of my brain was missing. People do make mistakes, and people can learn and grow and change.
Yeah, but you didn't.
No.
And you haven't, and you're done. And maybe you can. Here's the thing: the thing about when famous people get away with this shit, like that guy I was talking about with the face and the hair, broccoli head, he should have been put in jail. The thing is, they never get held accountable for the things that they actually have done. And that's what people get pissed off about. Us plebs out here, when we break the law and do shit like that, like we go to jail for that stuff. Famous people, nah.
No,
it's all right.
Did you know they were underage at the time?
Yes. Yes.
Your name is
Because
Colleen
everybody
Ballinger,
butchers
and I've said
hers.
it so many times.
It looks like the studio.
It's not just famous people, it's also powerful people, right? People with a lot of money who are kind of running these shows and other things like government and whatnot. They get away with abusing kids and abusing adults, quite frankly. I mean, I also went to school with Rose McGowan, and she's one of the first people that came out against Harvey Weinstein. However, she has a really questionable past as well. Like, when I went to high school with her, she was, I think, living with her agent. She had run away from her family, who were in a cult, and her past is reckless as well. And so I've done some videos on that. You can check my channel for the commentary that I've done on Rose, but she was there too, you guys. I have a very interesting background, shall we say.
Smells like an old lady's purse, or an old, that old smell, lavender. Is it lavender? Do you know what I'm saying? Like the old, Chanel No. 5.
It wouldn't bother me if you did. Most people don't say it right. My whole life it was Colleen Ballinger.
Ballinger.
Yeah,
people say I'm Mayday, and so people are always like, Mayday, because it's
No.
Whatever.
No, they're not.
not with a middle Y.
Oh, okay.
So it gets very...
Yeah, my name is Raven.
Oh, then it is midday.
You're a mom of 3 now,
I can't believe that.
right?
That's so...
Shouldn't be.
You had a 20-year run. You explained that you hustled to make that character what it was. And then the world imploded.
Here we go.
Then
Finally,
you got
15 minutes in.
And then you had all these accusations and a lot of voices come through the screen that had been rooting for you.
It's interesting because one of the problems that we've been having in America, in the U.S., is that women who are immigrating to our country from the Caribbean and or South America or whatever are held in what is essentially concentration camps before they are allowed to become residents of America. And oftentimes they are sterilized. They are forced to have hysterectomies under false pretenses. I've hosted activists to discuss this on my Our Revolution chapter, and realistically, like, first of all, that's cruel and unusual. But secondly, if that is going to be something that we do, why not do it against sex offenders, right? Like, why are you allowing sex offenders to have children and subject them to potential cruelty that way? Like, I don't know how we do things. Okay, I guess you're live, whatever. Let's go.
For so long, you had the rug pulled out from underneath you. We will get into those and kind of talk a little bit about some of the comments people have made and how certain situations have made watchers and viewers feel. But I first want to ask you, when you first got that ting about, oh no, something is going astray, what happened personally, internally to you?
I pooped a lot. She pooped a lot.
You know, it was kind of a slow build. And I feel like I felt it brewing for a little bit first, you know. It was a very jarring experience. And first, I think I should say, you know, when my audience kind of grew and it went from this older audience to, you know, it spread and there was now a lot more teens watching me, I didn't adjust my comedy very much because I was like, well, they found me doing this, so this is what they like and this is what I like, so I'm going to keep doing the comedy they like. And I did adjust it a little bit over time. But one thing that I didn't do, and I should have been much more careful about, is I didn't adjust my interactions with my fans. And that's something I regret a lot because, like I said earlier,
the inappropriate interactions, what she's saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's always been inappropriate, but then her fans got younger, and she's like, and I stayed inappropriate with young fans.
The difference between me and a mainstream celebrity, at least in the beginning, was that I was attainable and look, she'll talk to us, she'll interact with us, and she's talking to us from her living room, she'll talk about anything. And she's so open and she'll...
Which, don't do that. Don't talk to teenagers on the internet.
Yeah.
Talk one-on-one with us. She meets us in person at her shows and whatnot, and we know her.
For money.
You know, and I didn't think about that when I was interacting with my fans, I didn't think about a power dynamic that could have been there. I didn't think about a parasocial relationship, and I should have. I should have been more responsible in thinking about that, but I didn't even think of myself that way. I was like, yeah, we are friends. Like, I think I felt the same way. And so for me, I was like, well, I'm just talking to my friends. I talked to all of them like they were my friends, my sisters, all the fans. And I definitely should have been more careful with the way I was joking with them and the things I was saying to them.
Do you feel like not having a team earlier in your career hindered you from making better decisions?
I definitely wish I had someone to give me advice. I was with that group of like the first...
This girl's making millions of dollars. Like, I mean millions and millions of dollars, and you didn't have a team? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And if your sister was saying, who's had this interview and off to the side here, was with you the whole time, she didn't tell you anything? Like, I don't think a team would have mattered, Colleen. So... the fact that she did have a team, by the way, but she just didn't have one that's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't speak inappropriately to teenagers. Maybe don't send that teenager, lingerie. And like, she did a video about it. So she did with another person in the video, not saying anything. I think it was her husband. I think. But like, nobody was going to tell Colleen Ballinger what to do. These famous people get to these upper echelons of fame and fortune. Nobody's telling them what to do. Okay? Nobody has the balls to it.
Well, and the thing is, too, if you watch Fat Sajak's coverage of this, she brings up the actual video of when that happened and talks about how they're trying to whitewash it because it was clear that she thought it was hilarious and that she wanted to send it to a teenager, and her, I guess, husband was wearing the lingerie at the time, and it was super inappropriate. I mean, when Colleen is the kind of person that makes it difficult for any of us as adults to actually work with kids, because it puts us so much more on guard of the point where it's like too scary to even work with kids, you know? And I mean, the fact that anybody would platform her at this point is amazing. I'll drop you the link to this video. He goes into a lot of detail, and he covers all of the subjects around it, and he also goes through the comments that were left on the video that Raven did, and how they were at least not deleting those comments, whereas if it had been on Colleen's channel directly, they probably all would have been deleted. Anyway, I have some other things I gotta do today, so there's that. But I'll give you the link to the video.